Hello and welcome back, folks, and what the crap's going on? Heir of Carthage here, and yes, we are back in the Satsuma Republic, and we are going to be expanding, hopefully. You know, we're right about at the point where we're going to hit that realm divide point, and eventually I'm pretty sure we're going to have a massive war with the Choshu. I have been spending some turns, increasing income, pushing hard to essentially kind of turtle up. We haven't entirely turtled, but the idea being that I could spend some time getting ready for the much larger war ahead that we're going to be facing. And I think it will be worth it. I'm building Gatling towers. I'm working on technology that would give us Gatling guns and other such implements. Our income is up right now, so that's good. We've been building railway stations to be able to move troops around faster. So hopefully we've got some good options. Like, so for instance, I can move troops from Bichu all the way back to Suo relatively quickly using the rail line. So I think we've got some good options. This is my Ishin Shishi, and what is he? Oh yeah, we sent him back here to potentially, I guess, cause some issues here. Choshu allied. I don't remember if I want to wreck on the Choshu right now, or if I should wait. They've got really solid armies nearby. I think I'm going to leave them be just for the time being, and I'm going to kind of think that one through. As far as clan development, I'm working on Neilfire, which would give my armies the ability to put out a little more pain in either close quarters, say like up in a fort, or on the open battlefield, without having to spread quite as wide. I would be able to put out a lot of fire, and then hopefully that would lead us to suppressive fire as well. All these things put together can be quite useful for us. They have an Ishin Shishi here as well. Remember bringing this guy over. Were we using him just to satiate the populace? I think we were, and then he got booted out. Rally the populace there. Whenever we lost that, there was a large enemy fleet that had headed our direction. Now kind of turned back. So I don't see that enemy fleet anymore. So I'm kind of thinking I might want to split up some of this force here. So let's see, I've got a couple of extra Kasugas. I could go ahead and maybe split this force, a couple of Kasugas and a torpedo boat, and head back this other way because our allies continue to be raided and pestered. So I think, leave this force here. And I'll take this force, the stronger one, and keep this main trade port open back here in the back. So there we go. Split that navy up a little. Hopefully be alright. As far as the forces that I have here, maybe lost some spear levy, it looks like. But most everything else is intact here. So that shouldn't be too big of a deal. We're going to need to end our turn here in order to get a little cash and continue things. I'm going to get to some of the comments here. Conquer Tunes says, Royal Marines with Neilfire is just a massacre of the troops in front of them. They've got one of the quickest reload rates of any infantry, and you can raise them with improved accuracy. That's icing on the cake. You're limited to 3 companies of them, though. Yeah, so we definitely want to get a hold of Royal Marines, and I thought I had remembered the same thing as them being... Was it French Marines or was it Royal Marines that had the best stats? Or maybe it was like a trade-off, right? I want to say maybe the American Marines had the best melee stats. French Marines had the best reload, and the Brits were maybe like splitting the difference. I don't remember. It seems like there was some specialty around each of those, but I don't recall every last bit of it now. I'm trying to remember where we were building that trading district. Let's go to our provinces, and I'm going to run through them quickly. Let's see where we were building. British Trade District was coming into Suo, which is a nice place to have it, but it seems like we have this armory here. Bizen already has a dry dock. That would be a cool place for it, because then we'd be raising them with extra armor and accuracy, but, you know, they'll probably be quite deadly enough as it is, so I think I'll just deal with it at the moment. Decide to revolt here with this Ishin Shishi. Let's see, 12,207 is going to be our starting funds. We've got Gatling Towers at Bungo and Higo, so we will be fairly well protected here. Both of those could be upgraded to a Citadel as well, which would help with repression in those provinces and make them a force to be reckoned with. I think we should do this. We're going to need help in every way we can get it. We'll probably want to do the same thing too at Suo. Make sure Suo is a real good fortress. We basically have some really solid fortress settlements. Bizen is looking like a pretty solid fortress at the moment. So yeah, we'll definitely want to have some of those. Let's burn another turn here. Sailing some of my ships back into position so that we can try and free up that port. Let's get some more comments. Bethany Collier says, gosh, it's so cool seeing the train just steaming around, especially after that first naval battle with it coming into and then leaving the station. While the graphics engine, as you say, could definitely use an update, I think this title may have my favorite art style and general visual direction of the Total War games. It does have a beautiful art style. It's absolutely no doubt about it. Like, it has a very beautiful art style. Where did it say? What did it say about? Oh, we got bombarded. Let's repair our port. There's a small Tosa fleet there. Can't reach them with either one of my fleets on this turn. It looks like the Choshu have cleared that out for now, so I think for now I'll go ahead and turn around and face the Tosa with this fleet. Awaji is getting rebuilt. Our army there is safe for now. I might want to go ahead and get a couple more levies. And then let's look at... I had started building, yeah, this citadel there. Let's build one here. Save our money again for another turn. I caused a rebellion at Harima, so I'm sure the Choshu love me. Nagaoka are pushing over here. I'm going to go give them some trouble with my Ishin Shishi. So I guess in a way I'll kind of be helping the Choshu here, but oh well. As long as it hurts my enemies, or my future enemies, I am down with it. Hayden says, I love it when YouTubers play it safe. Usually the series ends before you see the full elite stack. Fights, late game with Gatling guns, and complete carnage. Loving the content. Hope life is treating you well. Well, life has been very busy, but it is indeed treating me well. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. There is that large fleet with the army embedded, and it is sailing back towards its own territory. That is good news for me at the moment. Ishin Shishi increases in rank. Let's take care of that. Subterfuge when assassinating, inciting revolts would be good. Persuading troops, rallying the populace. Converting provinces. Inciting revolts. So usually I like these for inciting revolt, but I'm going to put rally the populace here because we're trying to kind of hold at Awaji. Which else I can recruit there at the moment, nor that we need to recruit. There is a small Tosa fleet right off here, which may be trying to bombard us, and it could be one and the same. They have like a... mine do too, where they take attrition inside the gun range. Okay, good. We could attack that Tosa military port. Our trade is open with the Choshu for now. I think I'm going to go to Suo and install a citadel here. And we also need to build up the city. I actually think I'll start that and then we'll build the citadel because I'd like to get Gatling towers at Suo and a couple of other places. So like I said, this is going to be a pretty involved process in getting prepared for the ultimate war here. We can't take forever, but I definitely want to do it right. So we're up against two enemy Kasugas and a Conran Maru. So let's go ahead and get into the battle here. Alright, the Tosa fleet arrayed across from me, and I'll show you all here. They do have a copper-plated Conran Maru corvette, which is sailing towards me now, because I have the torpedo boats, and I think that it knows that I can target it from a distance. They've also got these two copper-plated Kasuga-class corvettes back here. You can see, I think that's the copper below the waterline there, whereas my ships are armored. I still need to get armor-piercing shells, which are really helpful, especially as the AI starts to field more armored units. You can see here that the Maru is coming into range already of my own armored Kasuga corvette, which has it significantly outgunned. And then that has caused the AI to sail forward with one of their own Kasuga class. I've used my torpedo boat to move forward, draw fire, and then I put some torpedoes in the water, kind of just gum up this area right here in the middle and make it difficult for the AI to maneuver. I find the torpedo boat obviously extremely entertaining when you score a hit, but I find it sometimes most useful just for forcing AI moves, drawing fire, and denying certain areas of maneuverability, which can very badly hurt enemy fleet. You can see that the Maru is already on fire and abandoning its cause because it took way too many explosive shells. Now the enemy Kasuga corvette, which almost turned into the torpedoes there, but the AI, of course, knowing not to do so, timed its turn just enough. But now you can see, like I said, we kept it from being able to maneuver exactly the way it wants. And look, it is putting some fire on my torpedo boat, which is now causing it to take more fire from my own Kasugas in the background. So the enemy is not off to a great start. They lost their Maru, and they are now on fire with one of their copper-plated Kasuga ships, and they are in trouble. Now they are moving towards the edge of range, and my torpedo boat is coming under ever-increasing fire. I laid down another torpedo in the water just to kind of give these guys trouble and to force them to maneuver again. I'm going to have to retreat with my torpedo boat, though, because it's starting to waver. So I've got one of my Kasugas sailing over here to the left-hand side of the map, and it is going to engage the Kasuga that has already taken some damage and on fire, and my other Kasuga is going to engage the enemy, and I'm sailing towards the edge of the map where we will meet the two ships within range of each other and be able to trade blows. Mine should be superior because of the armor. Again, this is a situation where I wish that I had armor-piercing shells. My ship caught on fire very momentarily there. Because armor-piercing shells would help me. They have better range, and they would do good against the copper-plated hull. And like I said, eventually if the AI starts to get into armored ships, we'd like to have that. So you can see they are firing explosive shells at me. I am firing them in return. So some pretty brutal fire from both of these fleets. The enemy's going to move slightly out of range of my explosive shells, and over here it's kind of the same story. We're still just moving into the outer edges of range. See, the enemy's using explosive shells, so am I. So both crews are going to be getting hit hard. Wooden ships take the worst damage from the explosive shells, but my armor will slightly better protect me against them than the armor from the enemy here. See, in fact, they've already got a fire on board, so they're in pretty big trouble in this fight. Though they are going to get some very nice volleys off before it's all said and done. But yeah, they are in significant trouble there. They've got a fire towards the aft here, or starboard amidships, roughly. So they're in trouble. So that Kasuga surrenders, and then the only remaining ship over here is also in big trouble. They're busy making repairs and trying to put out their fires, and my ship could soon move into range, but the enemy ship is already wavering, and then here they're going to flee, turn and flee, and then right when they do, they take a savage volley as I switch back to solid shot in order to extend my range a bit, and this is going to cause them to abandon ship and surrender. Well, that was definitely thanks to some superior armor and some maneuvering by the torpedo boat, which allowed us to get the better of the Tosa there. So that was a good situation for us. I can get back and quickly repair any damage to the fleet. So there we go. And that Tosa fleet will not be able to do any bombardments or any other mess this turn. Speaking of this turn, let's go ahead and end this one as well. I think, though, this army probably ready to get on the move again. I'm gonna risk taking this army out of Awaji, and I'm gonna have to put some garrison troops to hold Awaji. Which I think for now will be okay. I'm going to take this army and try to march across here. I have to wait till the next turn. It's a very small army, but it's very elite in terms of its capability, especially because of these Armstrong guns, so I feel pretty confident moving it around with some degree of safety. So I'm going to try and take the war to the Tosa. I'm going to end turns, keep using my money to improve my infrastructure for as long as I can, and then we will spread ourselves thin, you know, into the bowels of war when the time comes. Jarug 87, sorry, I can't say it. He says, thanks for the series, man. Used to watch you all the time back in the day. I feel like it was back when Shogun 2 was brand spanking new, and I think you are the oldest sub in my list to date now, so thank you again for keeping up the series. It really helped keeping me sane now. My computer's broke. I wish you and the family all the best. Cheers from a random Swede. Well, thank you. I do appreciate you, and I'm glad you're enjoying the series. Yeah, I remember playing Shogun 2 when it was brand new. It was a lot of fun then, and it was a lot of fun now. I do feel like this game, in many ways, certainly represented a high point for Creative Assembly. I think they had other high points, like the release of the Mortal Empires map for Warhammer 2 was a big-time high point. So there have been many high points, I would say, for Total War, and Shogun 2 is among them, in my opinion. Certainly would be among them. Alright, so we are making really good income at the moment. And let's see, Suo, let's go ahead and prepare the Citadel at Suo, and then I will upgrade the Military Academy and others so that we'll be able to have better troops. So again, just using this cash to make ourselves stronger. So Dementia says, this series inspired me to get back into Shogun 2 with the Takeda. So much fun. Shogun 2 is still a very fun game.
Consider this our offer, and do so with all your undoubted
No, I don't really like this offer. Yeah, Shogun 2 is probably one of the more fun historical games to play right now. It certainly has its quirks. There's a lot of agent spam on the map. The AI is really cheaty in the late game, like very cheaty. So I mean, it's certainly got its issues. However, it's a beautiful game. It can run on relatively old hardware, and it runs okay-ish on new hardware. It doesn't run as nice as some of the newest Total War games, but it still runs and does pretty well. So all in all, I feel like it is definitely a very solid entry into the Total War franchise. I saw a huge fleet potentially making its way towards us. I'm going to be prepared for that. So yeah, potentially large enemy fleet on the way. Let's head back over here to Suo, where I was doing some more work. I'm going to go ahead and build up the Military Academy here. So again, put that money to use, and I am bearing down on Awa for the Tosa here. Let's see, Magofire says, love it when Air releases a historical Total War. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm going to keep a historical series going. I think I'm going to try and balance things here coming up soon. I have plans to be changing the content on my channel. Because Warhammer 3 is kind of in the doldrums with the way that CA released it, and it's going to be very slow to be updated, I want to play it because I still like the game despite being frustrated with it, but I'm not going to give it too much attention because, quite frankly, not many people are giving the game much attention right now. And so it wouldn't make much sense for me to do so either. But I'm going to have one Warhammer 3 campaign going, and I might switch that to Warhammer 2 at some point if we decide that there's something of more interest. I'm going to keep a historical campaign going, and then I'm going to be actually branching out into some other games. Like, I think I'm going to try and play Chaos Gate, which is a newer game out there. It's a Warhammer 40k strategy game. Surviving Mars is a strategy, like, city-building game that I really like. I'm going to put some time on it. Got some, I think, some fun stuff to do there. So, yeah, we've got things to do, and I think it's going to be a good time all around. So, something that I would like to do. Take a look here. We got bombarded again. Repair this port. It's going to cost me a little bit of money. At Bizen, we have Gatling towers. I go ahead and put a citadel in there too. I'm just trying to make some extremely strong points for enemies to try and have to work their way through. Like, it will not be easy. Ooh, I had some new troops ready I forgot about. We need to get these on a boat. Get them over to my forces. Remember where that enemy fleet was at. I don't see it up here yet. So I'm going to go ahead and take this fleet and transfer these troops over to my army that's on What's the name of this? Hokkaido? No, Shikoku. Shikoku, I think, is the name of that island. Could be wrong. Hokkaido is the one up in the north, I believe. So yeah, I'm not great with Japanese geography, so be forgiving of me, please. There we go. I think it's good to end another one. Let's get some more comments here. We've got Francesco Lagoya. Thanks for being a channel supporter, by the way. He says, "Hey, Air, I'm playing my own Satsuma campaign, and I have the island completely fortified. Me and my small Imperial factions are left, and none of them want to ally with me." Yeah, I know. That's the AI for you. They never want to cooperate. Oh my gosh. I think this is a bridge battle, folks. I think the AI just came at me across the river while I have Armstrong guns. This is going to be an absolute slaughter on the water, so I hope you're ready for this one. So the Tosa have brought a massive levy of troops into battle, hoping to drown my superior army, which is now in foreign territory, in numbers, apparently. So they have a huge number of levy infantry and spear levy, not the Tosa riflemen and other feared units that could be brought by the Tosa, and they, having switched to the Shogunate side, of course, deserve all the ill attention that I'm going to give them now. The Tosa have to cross the river, which can be seen ahead through the fog, but they have a problem, which is that they're going to be under heavy artillery fire as they make a move to cross the river. So having chose this battle, they only have two options of a river crossing. Here is one. There's a shallow crossing, and you can see that my troops are well prepared to defend it. I have sharpshooters present, hit them from long range, and line infantry behind. There's a small bridge way off in the distance that they can also use to cross, and I have melee troops hidden in the town just off over here ready to ambush them should they try cross that bridge. It looks like at the moment the Tosa are attempting to make a crossing at the low water section, and you can see that they are already taking horrendous losses to my very accurate and very well trained artillery. This is not going to be an easy or pleasant approach for the Tosa. You can see here they're being shredded by shrapnel shot. And bear in mind that a couple of my artillery shots have hit trees just because of positioning, so this actually could be worse for them. The battlefield was even more open than it already is. Now there is a saber cavalry that is approaching first, and they're going to be the somewhat brave vanguard portion of the army for the Tosa here, and they are going to find out just how well prepared my troops are on the other side as they move into an absolute slaughter here, and they're going to rout before they ever make contact in melee, and I can't say I blame them. That was a suicide charge, if ever I have seen one. And speaking of suicide charges, here comes the much larger secondary suicide charge from the Tosa, which are now under heavy fire. My sharpshooters are in range, and they are going to begin the process of eliminating all these Tosa levy, but the process will not end there. I expect that just by sheer numbers, at some point the Tosa will be able to connect into melee, but I'm going to have the high ground, and we all know how the high ground is since we've learned from Obi-Wan, and I'm going to have my general nearby to support with gunbate, rally, and spire, so they're going to have a difficult time. You can see they have to come through the river, tired of running through the water while being all wild. Just look at the carnage from the savage artillery strikes that are coming in. So this is the view from the Tosa perspective. And these guys, I have to give them credit. This is some pretty extreme dedication for them to be continuing this charge while knowing that they are charging into certain death. And look what happens when they come up and over the ridge from the riverbank. They're going to find themselves under a withering barrage at point-blank range from extremely well-drilled riflemen. Like I said, they will make their charge here, but my troops are going to be well supported and should be able to hold their ground. I have my sharpshooter standing behind now. I will bring them back in to melee just to help turn against the numbers advantage the Tosa have here. And again, it is just a numbers advantage. The quality is very much on my side. You can see my general here. His staff is going to start inspiring, and you can hear that kicking in now. You can see the artillery barrage has not ceased. However, I do go ahead and cease the artillery barrage here in just a moment because it is at such close range that I am likely to hit my own troops. But at this point, The enemy melee is not going to go well. My men are inspired. They are well disciplined. Their morale is high, and they have known nothing but victory through this campaign, and the Tosa are not going to change the nothing but victory mentality. They are going to be driven back with heavy losses, and then my troops will reposition for a second opportunity to open fire from range, because the remaining Tosa troops that are trying to cross are rifle troops, but they are tired, they are blobbed up, and they are ill-positioned to be effective. And seeing the writing on the wall, which should have been the writing on the wall from the very beginning, Tosa are going to flee, having taken heavy losses in a beautiful, epic, and somewhat gruesome battle, the results of which you can see laying all over the battlefield here. And remember, all these troops never got anywhere near me. These were just all artillery losses. Folks, that was some gratuitous slaughter there by Saigo Takamori, just adding to the already gruesome effectiveness that he's demonstrated in this campaign up to this point. So the Tosa massively defeated in a bridge battle. Those guys really needed to put the warpstone pipe down and take it easy, because I don't know what they were thinking to engage in such a battle. That is absolutely insane. NY Messagista says the most cost-effective navy for auto-resolves is the second ship, Kankomaru, for a 90 a turn. The quantity rule works, and better hulls help too. 5 to 6 of them will take out most small to mid-sized fleets for a while to stack more, and you'll win most auto-resolves. Interesting. Didn't know that. I haven't messed with that much. So that's an interesting tactic. Yeah, the auto-resolve is a little bit broken in the way it works, and so clearly what he's doing there is he's someone who has either seen or used for themselves this type of fleet, and that makes sense. And like I said, there's usually a way to game auto-resolves to your favor, and it sounds like that you're onto it there. Alright, so we're going to take their settlement. We're going to peacefully occupy. Uh-oh, we just hit legendary status. Oop, so all that preparation we were working on, that is now. So apparently things are unhappy back here at Bizin. I don't really know why that is the case. What I got here? We got a geisha helping to improve things, and she ranked up, by the way. Entertaining nobles. Got multiple skill points here for entertaining nobles. Alright. Make her more effective. Yeah, so Bizin is quite upset at the moment. Ooh, Carbine Cavalry. I love me some Carbine Cavalry. We can get the good stuff back here now. I'm a big fan. I'm going to have to kind of stick to line infantry, because I think Black Bear and Imperial, I don't know if they disband or if they change. Do you all know the answer to that? Because they're Imperial, and whenever we do get the opportunity to declare ourselves as a republic, I think they change. So for the moment, I'll just recruit some line infantry. Although technically speaking, Black Bears... actually, I mean the line infantry... Or no, those are sharpshooters I was looking at, sorry. Yeah, line infantry is a little worse, obviously, than Black Bears, but for the time being would give me something to work with there. I need to go drop off these new troops. The Sunpu have a fleet in my way. Let's encourage them to move along. I'm sure it didn't take much encouragement, but want this army to come ashore here. There we go. So now I can get this fleet back into position. Yeah, so Bizin's a little upset. We'll see, though. I mean, if it rebels, like, I've got a pretty sturdy garrison there, so we should be all right. Taking a look at our cache again here. So Suo is going to be well fortified. We're going to need to repair here, where we're getting some bombardments by the Tosa. The Tosa are basically making a last-ditch effort here to come and try and just bombard anything in sight. And that makes sense. That's an annoying strategy, but an effective one for the AI, because it works for them. It doesn't really work too great for the player, but it works rather well for the AI. Put an inn here, and let's repair the fortress. Go ahead and do tenant fields, improve the port, and we've got a criminal den here. Take a look at this, the criminal den. Smuggler's Cove, Yakuza hideout. I think it just increases our income, if I remember right. I just can't remember if it was 2 different buildings you could pick. It doesn't look like it. Let's go ahead and build that too while we're at it. Just build up some strength there. Let's bring our agent over to supervise recruitment. Not that I expect we'll be doing any recruitment, but I wanted to keep him with us. And we should be able to end another turn here. Daniel says, man, the battle against the Tosa was brutal. This game looks so good for how old it is. Yeah, I bet you all enjoyed the one today, too. That river battle was absolutely obscene. I mean, that's a war crime. Yeah, look at the Tosa. They can't do anything, so they just send fleets to bombard me everywhere. The AI in this game is supremely irritating. They're not built to be effective at defeating you. They're just built to slow you down and annoy the ever-loving crap out of you. Like, that's all the AI is designed to do in this game. Deluminated says, nice, massive battle at the end. So strange how they managed to sneak a full army through the bushes. Yeah, I know. I don't understand that one still. I'm still lost on it unless you all caught it. Yeah, thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. Al the Molfar says, thanks for the video and thank you for being a channel supporter. Says, it's a shame there was no Gatling greetings from the Kotetsu this time. Also, check the agents. I think some have leveled up in a previous episode like that veteran. I will check them. Thank you for the reminder. Okay, so we have hit Realm Divide. I didn't intend to hit it yet. So we can do the final push, which of course is not what we're going to do, and then we can assume personal control. So you've decided neither the Shogun nor the Emperor are worthy of Japan's leadership, and the country will be united beneath your own banner. The war rages on between the Emperor and the Shogun. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed, so expect mounting hostility from all, even your closest allies. Imperial and Shogunate-related units and agents may no longer be fielded. Any such units you control will now abandon your cause. Well, so it's a good thing we didn't recruit too many of those. It says, your propaganda network must be rebuilt to accommodate your new personal objectives. And it says you no longer have access to Shinsengumi and Ishinshishi agents. However, your new propaganda allows you to maintain influence with your own and neighboring provinces. So it says assume personal control, but I don't know the point at which we get to declare the Republic. I can't remember this. Man, you know what? I'm going to stop this episode here. I think I can save at the moment. Maybe I can't. Can I quick save? Nope. Dang, I can't save right here. I don't remember what happens each way I go. Because I can't remember if we have to fight for the Emperor and then make it a republic once we take control. All right, folks. The Republic of Satsuma is here. Air was a little confused, but we did figure it out. It's gonna get crazy. Everybody will declare war on me, and we will have to fight them and win. There will be no peace. Will be nothing else. So this came a little sooner than I had hoped. I'm not quite as well prepared as I would like to be, but we do have some fortresses, and we better get ready to fight. So I'm gonna work on this military breakthrough, and I need to move some troops to the front. I've got this army here, which is not insanely impressive, but it is an army. I've already got some other generals. I'll leave a few back here in Satsuma. Let's get back to my army. This is our daimyo, so we're going to take him forward to fight. We've got some saber cavalry, sharpshooters. I'm going to take this this army. I'll start marching towards Higo because we're going to have to... The Choshu Imperial Vanguard, yeah. So the Choshu have become the Imperial Vanguard. They will declare war on us at any moment, so I'm going to need to start pushing into position to deal with them, and then I'm going to go ahead and start recruiting some extra forces back here. This is going to start to eat into our money. We can still get sharpshooters, line infantry, revolver cavalry. We don't have as much of upgraded stuff back here as we can. It looks like Black Bear infantry stayed, and then our other infantry turned into Republican infantry. That's going to be our options. For now, I'm just going to grab some more improved line infantry and march it forward with our army, because we got to be able to hold the line in a few places. Hopefully we can hold the line here at Bizen as well. Mimasaka is going to be difficult to defend. difficult indeed. Take a look at my army there. Yeah, it's not much to behold. It would take me quite a while to expand it, and I don't know if it's worth investing the money because it's going to be attacked so quickly. Yeah, so let's see if I can... wonder if there's new agents that we can recruit. Can't recruit those anymore. Our police station... Let's see what happens to our police stations, because I had one here at Awaji. And yeah, there's no new propaganda thing we can build. I'm trying to remember where we can see what some of the agents are. Anyway, folks, it's about to get real. It's about to get real crazy, that is. We're going to lose most of our trade income here soon, too, so we got to keep that in mind, that we're probably about to lose significant trade income. In fact, we should go take a look at that. Yeah, that's a lot of income that we're about to lose to trade. And then I believe we're going to be fighting a lot of unhappiness due to unrest, which is going to be caused by the fact that, you know, we've turned away from either the Shogun, or sorry, in this case, the Emperor, and so people aren't going to particularly like that. So, yeah, we got a lot of things coming. It's going to get crazy. Y'all better stay tuned, because the fun is just getting started here in the Fall of the Samurai campaign. So, hope you all are ready. HeirofCarthage, signing out for now. I'll see you next time.